1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good afternoon, everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Testing from W5 Belfast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, is that okay?
There's a lot of those around. Some of the ones from the city do look still like toy planes. The little copper ones. Brian, come back. Tidy some cables. Brian, come back. Oh, come on, Hi, Brian. This is plugged in. There's nothing showing for the lectern PC or for the lectern laptop. Yeah, hit that and it's showing everything's connected up correctly and there's light showing on the scaler, but it's not showing what's on the laptop. Yeah, now there's video and stuff on it, so as long as we have one that will play from that, yeah, that's fine. If needs be, can we put this on our... Absolutely.
trivia on the radio. I'm not sure what it's listed.
Just checking that now to make sure that that has been selected.
It doesn't see it. Is that connected? Is it just through Discord? Yeah.
It's through, well, it's through that one.
Sorry,
It's now been
I wasn't sure how to say that without being.
Yep.
It's not plugged in.
popped out. It's jumped out. Brian, tried those just to make sure, but it does seem to be set to do it, yeah. Thanks, Brian. I had a play around here. It does seem to be everything is set to mirror and work, but it's just not doing it.
That's no stress. I mean, it's probably better to use a laptop that is familiar with the setup.
Yeah, and that's it. We'll just
Perfect.
recommend
Great.
again.
No, that's.
I just feel bad for you because I would have
No,
wanted to have had your
honestly.
run through and everything. I know they're still.
I mean, we could even bring Kitty in here, but she might try to eat and bring her in here a little bit earlier. We can have a little bit of a taste. That's no stress. You can give us the facts. Yeah, that's fine.
It's one of these ones just since they've stolen our property guy.
Oh no.
They've stolen him for next door.
you're alright scaling the wrong road.
It's sorted now, that's what counts.
It was upscaling instead of downscaling. It was scaling from that's a
It's the other way round.
yeah, just nearly 3.5 sound lead. So we're there. Well, she's just put sound straight in your laptop, which you have, I know, haven't you?
Yeah, on this side. Though I think you have to put it through there because Andy and I found if we didn't, it tried to take the sound from the HDMI. You had to go in and play something separately.
Maybe you can try to play sound on that. Just test a thing. Give you video clip or anything on that, or
Yep.
no play sound. Or... Oh, hold on, I've lost it.
The amazing pictures that the telescope takes could be really fun to draw. So yeah, maybe that should be my next book instead. But I decided to write about Curiosity because people really seem to connect and care about the rover. It was as if an actual person or animal was going on this really distant journey to Mars. That's how much it seemed to mean to people. The rover has this character appeal about it, which I think is really important for drawing readers in. It's great for children who love space and science, but importantly I think it's also great for those who maybe science isn't their best subject in school. This rover can be a great way to draw someone in onto the subject and show them just how cool science is.
Maybe we need a bit louder.
I mean, using science, we built a rover, put it on a rocket and made it successfully land on another planet. I had to do that story.
Yeah, you can exit that. I don't know what it is. Great.
That should be in coming in and out.
What I can do.
That should be entry exit. So. Oh, that's set so low.
Full screen test.
That one there. You don't know what time yet? Yeah. Don't know where they've put the.
We're just gonna roll with it. This is a black screen on purpose. Oh wait, no, it's not. Oh, sorry.
No, no, you cannot do that. You are a woman. Yes, I can, because
So cute. Fab. Great. That all looks brilliant. Wonderful. And then the clicker, will I... Is there any... Yeah. One. Great. That's perfect. Thank you so much. We got there.
Test, test. Test, 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 test.
got this, yeah. Oh. Sorry.
Test, 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 test.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really just you. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Yeah, yeah. I'm like, me. No, it's not me. Yeah. Yeah, so we would mainly do schools engagements. We've got another team as well who do like public engagement stuff. But yeah, we've just got our nice new facilities and stuff. Extra places around the building. Have you had a wee look around at all? Yeah. Very good. Yeah, it's not bad now. Yeah, £4.5 million, so it's not bad. Not bad. It's the first real big chunk of capital funding we've had like that in a long time, so it's nice, yeah. Yeah. And how are you getting on? Are you? Yeah. Excellent. Treat. Yeah. Away this afternoon. Yeah, very good. Filming later or tomorrow? Right. Oh, right, okay. It'd be terrible if that flight was delayed. I mean, I heard Flybe were having a takeover and stuff, so, you know. Yeah, I think most people would, to be fair. Right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Yeah, well, just today. Yeah, we did the workshops earlier as well, so yeah, it seemed nice. Right, I'll go and check my mic here. Excuse me. Hey, Elaine. Live stream. BBC. Yep. No, it's not. Why did I pick those tricks then? That's true. True. Hey, Katie. How's it going? A little bit terrified. I didn't realise it was going live stream. Check my mic works. Hello, hello. I'm doing shows. I'm doing a...
everyone, hello. I wasn't sure if you guys watch CBBC or not, but obviously you do. You all seem like you're really big fans, so that's brilliant. And I'm sorry, I should have brought some of my CBBC cards with me, so I tell you what, if I give some to the Royal Society guys, or maybe even just give them one card that's signed, they can photocopy it and send them out to your teachers or something. Is that something you can do? Because I basically just put a squiggle on all your hands, and pens don't write very well on skin. There's probably some science behind that someone here can tell us about. So you could basically just do your own little scribble and nobody would know because it looks nothing like my autograph. Hello everyone, good afternoon and welcome to the awards ceremony for the Royal Society's Young People's Book Prize. My name's Katie Thistleton, and as I just said, I present on CBBC with Hacker the Dog. And one of our authors, in fact, watched CBBC not that long ago and knows Hacker the Dog very well, which made me feel really old. And I also present on BBC Radio 1 as well. So has anyone here watched CBBC and listened to Radio 1? Good. It keeps me paying the mortgage, so if you could continue to do that, that would be excellent. Now, I know you guys have been doing some really exciting things this morning. We came in and had a little look around, we looked through the windows and we saw you doing some really fun activities. And every single one of those activities you did this morning was actually based on one of the shortlisted books today. So did anyone have a really good time doing those activities today? Good. Give a big cheer for all the activities. Good. You all seem very, very excited and very, very much warmed up by all that science that you've been doing. Better than school? Yeah, this has been better than school, hasn't it? Also, I saw some of you climbing all over that scary-looking climbing frame with the netting, so that's fun, isn't it? Risky. Okay, so before we get going with the awards show and give out an award to someone or some people very, very well deserving, we are going to get a little bit more science fun from the W5 team. So please put your hands together for Matt.
Hello. Oh. Hello. Much better. Hi guys, I think I've seen about half of you during the workshops. Put your hand up if you've got a piece of paper in your pocket from the workshop. Woo! All you other guys, where were you? Where were you? Where were you? Okay. Okay, so guys, thank you very much for coming. It's very exciting to have Katie with us as well today. My name is Matt. What we're going to do is one of my very favourite demonstrations of all time. We are going to look at some particle physics. Okay, now obviously this will be nothing for you guys because you're all very clever. I worked that out during the workshops earlier. But what we're going to do is we're going to demonstrate what happens inside a particle collider. Now, of course, did you all bring your particle colliders with you? Yes. Brilliant! One in the front row. Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay, you can come back. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to need some volunteers for this. Now, please, please, please do not volunteer unless you've got a good life insurance policy. Okay. Yeah, just keep your hand up if you don't know what a life insurance policy is. I thought so. Okay. All right, so we'll take, how about the lady over here with the glasses at the end of the row? Yes, come on down. And the lady behind you with the glasses also at the end of the row, come on down. Give them a round of applause. Let's take some responsible-looking people as well. Oh no, wait, we'll have we'll have guy in the green right over here. Yes, come on down. And we'll have guy in the red over here. Come on down. Okay, one more big round of applause for these guys. Woo-hoo. Okay, so come stand over here, sir. What's your name? Jude. Jude, brilliant. Okay, we've got Jude. We've got Alex. Sophie. Sophia. Lila, Sophia, Alex, Sophie, what? No, Jude. Okay, so these guys are going to help us out. Now, we are going to obviously think about safety here. Safety is paramount when you're dealing with particle physics. So what I would like you two to do... Oh, you're sort of in pairs anyway. Do you want to stay? You two can work together and you two... Is that okay? Yeah, brilliant. Okay, what they're going to do, first of all, is they're going to get some safety equipment on. Now, at the edges of my stage, okay, so Jude and Alex, you come stand here. Okay, and you two come a bit closer, Lila. Okay, so we have some equipment at the side of the stage. My trusty assistant, Elaine, please welcome to the stage. Elaine is going to very kindly plug in that vacuum cleaner. Thank you very much. Vacuum cleaner is an integral part of this particle collider demonstration. You two guys are going to be working with this vacuum cleaner. I'll show you how it works in a second. And you two are going to work with this vacuum cleaner. So if you want to make your way over there, there is a little box with some goggles in it. You can pop on your goggles. Come on over here, guys. You can pop on your goggles. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, there's some goggles in there. You can pop on your goggles. Now, I need you guys to work out in your pairs who is going to do the dangerous bit from each of the pair. Okay, so who's going to do the dangerous bit? Okay, have you decided? Are you going to do the dangerous bit? Excellent, brilliant. It's not really dangerous. It's only dangerous for me. Okay, there we go. Now, oh, thanks, Elaine. That's brilliant. Sorry, I can't even plug in a vacuum cleaner. What is going on here? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to attempt to fire tiny particles, these tiny particles, at a specific target and try and get them to collide. Because in a particle collider, as you may have guessed, one of the most important things that it must do is have some particle collisions. So these are going to be our particles. If you like, in the Large Hadron Collider, they might be firing protons at each other. Whee! Tiny, tiny parts of atoms. Whee! They're trying to smash them together and see how those particles interact. And those experiments, when those are taking place, those little particles can fly out in lots of different directions. So I will wear some safety equipment in just a moment. So what I want, who's doing the dangerous bit? Brilliant. Okay, so I would like you to also just hold this big tube. Okay, this is going to be your particle launcher. Okay, now it's going to launch this way at the boys over here. Hello, boys. Give us a wave. Don't worry, it's fine. It's perfectly safe, mostly. Okay, what they're going to do is the girls are going to take the vacuum cleaner. They're going to plug it in here. And then you're going to do the dangerous bit. So you hold it like this. Now, you're not pointing it at the boys, okay? Just remember that, not the teachers either. Okay, so you're going to point it this way. What I want you to do is you're going to hold it like that. So can you hold that right now? Yeah, go ahead. One hand there, one hand up here. Lovely. Good, good. Okay, good. No experience with firearms. Excellent. Okay, come on over here now. Round here. Lovely, lovely, lovely. You're going to do the loading. So these tiny particles are going to go in here, shlunk, and they're going to be sucked by the vacuum cleaner towards the end of the tube, where a tiny little flap is going to go, whee, let the particle out, and it will fire and hopefully collide in a designated area in just a second. Now, do you want to hold that? Lovely. We'll have a practice in a second. You guys stay there. You're doing well. Okay, boys, you're going to do the same thing over this side. So who's doing the dangerous bit? Lovely. We've got Alex. Okay, Alex, do you have any family in the audience you want to say goodbye to? Or No. Okay. So, Alex, what I want you to do is you're going to take this vacuum cleaner, hold that just there with one hand. Are you right-handed or left-handed? Right-handed. Great. Okay. Bring this around like this, and you're going to be pointing it this way. Now, I should just point out again, okay, Alex, you can come around this side if you like. It might make it more comfortable. There we go. Lovely. So we've got that jammed in there. You hold this. Lovely. Okay, and that's it. That's all you have to do. And you're going to do, Jude, come on over here. You're going to get this. Okay, there you go. Now, there are more particles in your, let's just call it box of particles. Okay. I'm going to put on the safety goggles here for myself. Now, what we're going to do is have a little bit of a test. And like any good test, you need something to aim at, okay? No, he's putting up his hand already. Okay, don't put up your hand. No. We do have a target. So I am going to hold this target, okay, just over here, okay? So what I want these guys to do is you're going to try and aim your little particle device at the target, okay? Now, we are going to need to turn on the vacuum cleaners as well. So I'm going to, Elaine, if you would do the honors and turn that vacuum cleaner on. I'm going to turn this one on. And we're going to have, just check our velocity there, okay? So, we're going to attempt to reconstruct an actual particle collider with 4 volunteers. Okay, are we ready? So, can you fire the first particle at the... Okay, do you want to try another one? Oh, it's getting closer. Getting closer. Oh, yeah, wow. Right, stop there for a second, stop there for a second. Stop. Oh, hang on, we've got a blockage. We've got a blockage. Okay, so we're going to try, now that we've done the practice, there you go, pop that back in, blockage is clear. Okay, so, I've totally forgotten your name. What was your name? Sophia and Jude. Okay, what I'd like you to do now are grab a big handful of your particles, because interestingly, in places like CERN, where they have the Large Hadron Collider. Okay, it's a particle collider. What they do is they fire billions and billions of little protons at each other. And in fact, the big scientific name they actually use for these are bunches of protons. So there you go. When you go home today, you can tell everybody you learned that the collective term for protons is a bunch. Okay, so every day is a school day. Are you guys ready with your handful of particles? Okay, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready with your handful of particles? So we'll turn on the vacuum cleaner. Okay, here we go. Okay. Are we ready? This time, what we're aiming for is not only to hit the target, we're going to try and get those particles to collide as they go into the target. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, yes, yes. Yes, okay, stop, okay, stop, ow. Not bad. Looks like we've got a jam over there. Okay, cannon 1 is jammed. Okay, let's just stop the whole thing, stop the madness. Okay, you can turn off your vacuum cleaners. Turn off your vacuum cleaners. It's got a mind of its own. Okay, and I think, please put your hands together for our wonderful volunteers. Thank you very much, guys. You can set your equipment down, take off your goggles. Whew. You can set down your equipment, take off your goggles, and of course take a bow before you return to your seats. Lovely. Oh, there's all the jammed ones coming out now. Great. Thanks, girls. So, thank you. So, did we get any collisions? No, we didn't. But you know what? Does that mean we stop? No, as scientists, that just provokes us to try harder, maybe try more protons, a bigger collider that I'm not holding, or maybe an experiment area. And we keep trying until we get there. And hopefully through all the books that you've seen today, you've seen that scientific endeavor is what drives people to write these books and go on to do great works of science. So thank you very much for listening, everybody. And I do hope you have a lovely rest of the day. Thank you.
To get through, we haven't had time for another experiment you were going to do, so you haven't used that massive bar of chocolate, so just slightly curious to know what's going to happen to that now.
What bar of chocolate?
Could always pass that around, couldn't we? There's a huge bar of chocolate behind here, guys, honestly. Anyway, we've seen lots of amazing science in action today. You guys have done loads this morning. We've just had some more demonstrated from the wonderful Matt and the brilliant volunteers as well. And now let's find out a little bit more about the Young People's Book Prize and the fantastic books that are on this year's shortlist. Now, this prize has been going since 1988, which is ages ago. That's even before I was born, but only by 1 year. But it's probably older than even some of your teachers, that, because teachers are pretty young these days, even though you might not think it. They might not look it, but they are. They're young. And the prize has always been about one thing. It's been about celebrating and encouraging the writing, publishing, and of course reading of books that communicate science to people just like you. Who here is a big fan of science? Good. Good. I'm glad you've all put your hands up. Some of you might be fibbing, but you've had to say that because we're a science centre, we're a science event. But you know, some people might not think science is that fun. Some people might not think it's that interesting because maybe it's not your strongest subject at school, or maybe you've read like a book that's a little bit boring about science. But there are some very, very, very good books about science, and it's so fun. Science is everything. It's you, it's everything around you, and it can be really, really fun, as we found out today. So we're going to celebrate the 6 best science books for young people, and we're going to discover who is going to be crowned the winner as well. Now, this is the fun bit. Each of the authors of the shortlisted books received £2,500. And the winner receives £10,000. I know. Oh, they all look a bit shocked, like they didn't know that, and now they're like, really, really want to win. And that money is awarded by an anonymous donor. And I've been hosting this for a few years now, and I still don't know who that is, but clearly somebody with too much money. Donating it left, right, and centre. So the judging process went a bit like this. There was a panel of expert judges, and they whittled down all the science books to the best few. And then it was up to you guys and people like you in schools to have a little look and pick the 6 shortlisted books. And we're thrilled that a couple of our judges are here today. So first, everyone say hello to Chair of Judges, Professor Yadvinder Mali, FRS, who is an ecosystem scientist from the University of Oxford. Give us a wave. There he is. We've also got Dr. Martin Howe from the University of Bristol, who is an expert in animal vision. Give us a wave, give him a big round of applause. And our other judges are Nicola Davies, Alison Price and Joe Marchant. They can't be here today, but they send their very best, so let's applaud them anyway. They might hear. Now, once chosen, our 6 shortlisted books were shipped to over 360 judging panels of young people across the UK. I believe some of you in this room were part of the process. Put your hand up if you helped judge. Oh, lots of you did. Excellent. That's exciting. You must have had a really tough job because all of these books are absolutely brilliant, so very well done. Now, before we find out who is the winner, let's find out a little bit more about the books and about our shortlisted authors. Please welcome them to the stage. You guys may have to stand, but, you know, it's good exercise. And I'll give you a couple of microphones so you can share between you, if that's all right.
There we go. You want to be my mic buddy? Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, Rachel, let's start with a question for you. I'm a really big fan of your book. Why did you want to write a book about women in science in particular? So Rachel's book is Women in Science, in case you've already guessed.
Hi, everyone. Well, when I was growing up, I actually didn't have a book like this to read. And when I got older, I realized that I actually didn't know a lot about women in science. And much more boringly, I was reading the US Census in 2013. Isn't that exciting? No? Well, also, I'm a really fun person at parties. So I was talking about the US Census at a party. And everyone went, "This is why we don't invite Rachel to parties." And in it, I learned that there was a huge gender gap in the amount of women who, with science degrees, were getting jobs in their field. And I was screaming about it. I was like, why is that? Why don't I have, why is there no books about women in science? And how come my teacher friends don't have tools that they could use in their classrooms to then talk about women in science? And I was complaining, and I was vetching, and then I realized, hey, I'm an artist. I can write a book about women in science. So that's what I did. I started drawing, I started writing, and now there's a book for all of you to read and to learn about the women throughout history who have changed our world with our discoveries. And now you never have to grow up like I did. You get to grow up knowing who your role models can be and being inspired by them. So thank you very much for having me. Yes.
Who is your favourite female scientist in the book?
Oh my God.
Whose achievements do you admire the most?
Okay, before I answer it, who here read Women in Science? Raise your hand. Could you guys scream out who your favorite female scientist was in the book? Scream it. Jocelyn Bell Burnell. Scream it out. Okay, well, my favorite in the book is actually Lisa Meitner. So does anyone here know what Lisa Meitner accomplished? No, she discovered fission, which is nuclear energy. And what is so exciting about her story is that when she was actually working at a time when women weren't allowed to go to university. So she was working in the universities at Berlin in the basement. And so she was doing these dangerous radiochemistry experiments in the basement, and she wasn't even allowed to go upstairs to use the bathroom. They made her go across the street and use the bathroom in a restaurant. Isn't that crazy? So soon she became the first person when the Prussian government allowed it, she was allowed to be in university. She became the first female German professor. And she started doing experiments like the particle experiment that we were just doing before, where she was smashing neutrons against uranium, and she was able to discover that by doing that, they weren't actually making a new element, which what a lot of particle physics was. They actually were stretching apart an atom like pizza dough to release more energy than went into the experiment. So enough about that. Lisa Meitner discovered fission, and she's great.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Rachel. We're going to come to you next. And you wrote Dinosaur Atlas. What fascinates you most about dinosaurs? I mean, who loves dinosaurs in here? We all love dinosaurs, don't we? They're just so great.
Everybody loves dinosaurs. And I've loved dinosaurs since I was tiny. I remember going to the Natural History Museum when I must have been about 5 or 6 and just being completely bowled over. And the displays are a lot better now than they were then, but even with rather ropey displays, they're just fantastic. And I think the reason we think dinosaurs are so great is because they are so different from the animals that we have now. There are such big ones, there are such small ones, and we don't know everything. So there's plenty of room for our imaginations. And imagination is very important in science. I know you probably all think science is about being really precise and so on, and it is, but you need some imagination to start with to get you thinking in new ways and in the right direction. And dinosaurs give you plenty of potential for imagination, I think.
So with that said, how much of the information we have about dinosaurs now do we know is definitely correct? Or is there an element of us sort of making that up a bit because they're extinct, so we don't know?
Well, we could make it up. We do try not to. But one of the things about science is that you say what you think is right, and if you find out you're wrong, you change your mind. So it's a progression. So we think, might dinosaurs have done this? Might they have done that? And then we look at the evidence and decide which is most likely to be true. But we can still get it wrong. I mean, until very recently, people thought all Tyrannosauruses were just scaly, green, big, lizardy things. And then people started to think, well, maybe they had feathers. And maybe the little ones were kind of fuzzy, like chicks. And now it's kind of swinging the other way, and people are thinking, well, maybe they were actually a bit scaly after all. And now we've kind of ended up with a sort of halfway house where they're a bit ostrich-like, and they might have scaly legs, and they might have patches of feathers. And we don't quite know. There's plenty more to be discovered. And there are dinosaurs everywhere, still waiting, underground. They're out to get you.
Oh, that's exciting. As long as T-Rexes have got those little arms, though, because that's the best thing about them, isn't it? Those funny little arms.
They do have little
love their arms. Do you have a favourite dinosaur?
I do. It's Kentrosaurus.
What's the Kentrosaurus
Kentrosaurus is about the size of a cow, and it looks like a Stegosaurus, but instead of having those triangular plates along the top, it has spikes. And then it has huge spikes that stick out of its shoulders. So it couldn't go through a door, because it would just get jammed. But luckily they didn't have doors, so it wasn't a real problem.
You couldn't ride one of those dinosaurs like a horse. Well, it sounds like it would be quite painful.
You'd have to kind of put your legs between the spikes.
It'd be difficult.
Yeah, I'm not sure it'd be good.
Well, thank you very much, Anne. It's very interesting to hear a little bit more about dinosaurs. Yes, please do give Anne a big round of applause. We're on to Martin now. Martin, you wrote Exploring Space, and we want to know, why did you choose to use drawings and not photographs?
Well, really, it was Stephen's amazing drawings that were the inspiration for the book. And he could get in places where you just couldn't get in with a photograph. I mean, he could do a fantastic picture of Enceladus, which, as some people here may have heard this morning, is, I think, the most exciting place in the solar system, probably. And he could allow, it's just like you said about imagination. We need imagination for these things. And I think you can get in there much better with a drawing than with a photograph.
Have you ever been to space, Martin? And if not, would you like to go?
Well, I think we're all in space right now, aren't we? I think.
To outer space?
Yeah, actually, yeah, a little trip up there would be quite good fun. Apart from, of course, the whole business about how you do or don't manage with the toilet, but we won't go into that here.
You don't want it flying around, do we? You want it floating around. And are you friends with the people from NASA? Because they seem quite cool.
I don't know any of them personally, actually, but and I've never met Tim either, sadly.
There is a cardboard cutout, though, here somewhere of him.
There was, yes.
So, yes. Just as good. Just as good. Thank you very much, Martin. Big round of applause for Martin. And now on to you, Steve. You wrote Scientist Academy. And we want to know, how did you come up with the activities in the book?
Oh, gosh. There, you've caught me up with that one. I just looked at, when people say they want to be a scientist, there's so many different types of scientists you can be, from helping the police to studying the sea to looking at space, and I just wanted to have a different activity to show all the different things you could do. So whatever your interest is, there's something there for you in science. And there's not just one activity you can do. You know, my mother was a pharmacist. I've got a niece that works as a microbiologist studying medicines in a hospital. And there's just so many different types of different activities you can do. So that was the idea behind it, really.
Are you a scientist?
No. I did want to be a scientist, but because I was so clever and so good looking, I got a job writing scientist books for children instead.
Well, if you could liken yourself to any of the scientists in the book, who would you be?
I would, if I could, I think, seriously, I'd love to be a marine biologist. I live on the coast, and I just think what goes on in the sea, and the fact that 95% of the sea hasn't been explored yet, or studied properly. I just think there's so much to learn, and there's so much to learn in all fields of science, such as the space and so on. But it's just such a mysterious area, and it covers 2/3 of the world, and I just think it would be a fantastic job to do. That said, if any of you go on to do any other types of science, I just think they're all so fascinating.
The sea is great, isn't it? Who's a big fan of the sea? Is anyone like watching Blue Planet and things like that? It's amazing. I used to be obsessed with the sea when I was your age, and the abyss, and the fact that there were little see-through creatures down there and weird little things. Thank you very much. Big round of applause. And Maxime, you are here on behalf of the Optical Illusions authors. You're the publisher, I believe?
Yes, I'm the publisher.
Wonderful. So tell us a little bit about Optical Illusions. If we wanted to make one, how would we do it?
God, I think this book will be the perfect tool to work on optical illusions. And I think you need to start very, very simple and start by drawing things and look how it works with, like you've done the workshop with the cube, and try to play with your perception of the reality. I think drawing will be the first and the best thing to do.
And what is it about optical illusions that you find so fascinating?
It's just a fantastic entry to science. It's something that will help you first to have really good fun, but also to understand some very complicated things you got in your brain and how to play with it. So I think it's a perfect subject to learn about science.
Excellent. Big round of applause for Maxime as well, and all of our wonderful authors. You may go and take your seats. Thank you very much. Thank you. Wonderful. Now, unfortunately, Marcus Motum of Curiosity, the story of a Mars rover, couldn't join us today, but he has sent us a short video message, so have a look at this.
Hi everyone, my name is Marcus Motum. I live in sunny Brighton, and I wrote and illustrated Curiosity, the story of a Mars rover. A bit of background on myself. I obviously loved drawing as a kid. My weekends would be eaten up drawing characters and stories. I'd draw my own comic book strips. I would then photocopy them, staple them together, and sell issues to my friends and family because you didn't get much pocket money in those days. Much later on in life, I went to college without really taking any sort of art subjects. And it wasn't until I was in my early 20s where I realised I really wanted to revisit my illustration and see where it could take me. So I went and started a degree in illustration. And it was on that course I rediscovered my love for picture books. That was then when I first truly appreciated the medium and just how fantastic picture books are for telling stories. And it was around this time, as I was finishing my degree, that the latest and most advanced rover to date was starting to make a lot of headlines. And when I saw the reaction people had when Curiosity landed safely, when I saw the headlines it was making around the world, when I looked into the amazing journey that she had had getting there, I knew I had to turn it into a picture book. So that is a great question. Why didn't I write a book on the Hubble telescope? The book could cover the astronomer the telescope is named after, Edwin Hubble. The amazing pictures that the telescope takes could be really fun to draw. So yeah, maybe that should be my next book instead. But I decided to write about Curiosity because people really seemed to connect and care about the rover. It was as if an actual person or animal was going on this really distant journey to Mars. That's how much it seemed to mean to people. The rover has this character appeal about it, which I think is really important for drawing readers in. It's great for children who love space and science, but or importantly, I think it's also great for those who maybe science isn't their best subject in school. This rover can be a great way to draw someone in onto the subject and show them just how cool science is. I mean, using science, we built a rover, put it on a rocket and made it successfully land on another planet. I had to do that story.
Put your hand up if this is the first awards ceremony you've ever been to. You have to clap a lot at awards ceremonies and your hands get really small. And by the end of it, you're like, I don't even know what I'm clapping for anymore, but my hands can't do it. We've also got a message from your crew, Maxime, the authors of Optical Illusions. Have a watch. Dress down. Big round of applause. Now, as I said earlier, hundreds and hundreds of young people were involved in the judging process, making the decisions. That's because you guys are the important ones. You are the ones the books are for. And lots of you have sent in videos of you talking about the judging process, so we're going to show some of those right now, and you might even be in it. So if you're in one of these videos, give us a little bit of a whoop and a holler and a wave so that we can acknowledge that. Let's hear from some of the judging panels for the Royal Society Young People's Book Prize 2018.
No, you cannot do that. You are a woman. Yes, I can, because I'm a woman in science. Oh, no!
We are Science Club. I'm Harriet, and I'll be promoting Scientist Academy. We love Scientist Academy.
We vote for. We vote for pages before them.
The front cover is kind of scary and some of the pictures inside too, but it's perfect for dinosaur lovers.
Exploring space. I like how detailed the illustrations are and how you can see inside them.
Mostly in history, you remember sort of the male scientists like Einstein, but having a book about the women who did it sounds really nice because you get to know what their childhood was like and how they got there.
I'm Mariam. And I'm Mariam. We're going to be talking about a book and we were really inspired to find that there was a scientist called Mariam as well.
I'm going
as an author you actually see young people reading your book and talking about it, is it? So that's really nice to see. Really lovely. And thank you all for sending in your videos as well. They were great to watch. And Professor Marley, who we introduced you to earlier on, had a really tough time choosing the winning video, but it's now time to announce the winning school. This is a practice drum roll for the main event. The winner is Wimbledon High Junior School, and I'm guessing from the name they're not in Belfast. So they're not here today, but we'll applaud them anyway, because that's what we do at awards ceremonies. We've learned that. We're going to be in touch with all our winners shortly, so they will know. But now it's the moment we've all been waiting for. So we had a little bit of a warm-up there, but we do want to do a really good drum roll for this, okay? So let's have a little practice. So yeah, you guys know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. I was going to demonstrate, but you know. So yeah, you want to do that with your hands on your legs. Maybe clap your hands, maybe stamp your feet as well. Okay, but then as soon as you see Professor Marley, who's going to announce the winner, open the envelope, then you stop so that we can hear the winner. Does that make sense? Okay, lovely. Well, then I think it is time to invite him up to the front. Please invite Professor Yadvinder Marley, FRS. Okay, it's the moment we've all been waiting for.
Hello everyone, this is the magic golden envelope. Before I open it to see what's inside, I'm going to say a few words about the whole process as well. So, for those of you who are involved in the book judging panel, you had a tough decision. You had 6 books and you had to pick your favourite out of those 6 books and rank them. Well, those of us on the judging panel had an even tougher early decision because we had a crate of around 100 books arrive in our house. And I had to sit there. I sat there with my daughter and all her school friends, and we just went through them, and we had to select all that down to our personal favourite 10. And that was hard enough, and my daughter disagreed with me on almost everything, so it took ages to work that through. And then we got together as a panel, and then we had to and fro our favourites and discuss them all, and we came down with a short list of 6, which are the 6 books that you've seen up there, and you've read some of the authors in front of you. And then that went out to all of you. In the schools, and all those 6 books were fantastic. There were so many books that were really good, and all those 6 books have done fantastically to be in that shortlist already. And the amazing thing is that they were fantastic in different ways, and you could see that because I was following lots of schools on Twitter as they were reporting what they were finding and what their votes were, and you could see that different schools were voting for different books. That showed that there wasn't one clear winner that everybody was agreeing on. Every different school found something different that they liked in the book that really appealed to them. That shows that everything was unique about those books in a special way that made each of those books very special. And so everyone's a winner in that sense. But then, in the end, we have to pick one overall winner. And well, you have to pick. It was really the schools. It was entirely the schools and the kids in the schools that picked the final winner out of those 6. So that's what I have in here. So I think it's time for that drum roll. And the winner is Optical Illusions.
Of Jenny and Mary-Jo, thank you very, very much. As you know, I'm not the author, I'm the publisher, and it means really a lot for QED, for the publishing company that published this book and brought this book to you. So thank you very much. I've got a word actually from Jenny that he prepared,
yes. Oh, brilliant.
in case, we never know, so I'm going to read it for you. Need to find it. So, good afternoon to you all. It's an immense honor for us to receive the prestigious award from the Royal Society. Thank you very much. It represents a lot for us to be judged and voted by children. Since almost 25 years, we have crossed Europe, mostly France and Italy, to hold workshops and exhibitions about recreational science and visual perceptions with children and of all ages. Children have a different way at looking at things and at the world. So writing and illustrating optical illusion books for children is not an easy task. Children are much less easy to fool than adults. We strongly believe that it is important to encourage children to look beyond what they seem obvious, and to think outside of the box. With our educational work, we always try to meet the essential needs of the young readers, to marvel of the world we live in, to train the brain, to experiment, to discover, to play, to communicate, to solve and overcome problems, to explore new ways using the trial and error method, to create and acquire skills, and above all, to have fun and to find pleasure in reading. While receiving this prize, we want to heartily thank the Royal Society and its president, Sir Venki Ramakrishnan, the judges who discovered us, so Dr. Martin Howe of the University of Bristol, and the whole QED team and Quarto, which is QED is part of the Quarto group, that helped us to create this book and to bring it to you. Lastly, we will be more than happy to answer your question via their personal email. So they got a website called archimedes.org that you can send your question to. So thank you very much again.
These are everywhere, by the way, just tripping over them. Congratulations to Maxine and all of the Optical Illusions team as well, and all of the shortlisted authors and publishers and illustrators behind all of the books. Let's give the whole of the shortlist a big round of applause. Because, as Professor Marley was saying, I was on the judging panel a few years ago as well, and there are so many books at the start to get through, so to get to the final 6 really, really is incredible. Thank you very much to the generous donors who make this prize possible every year, whoever they are, very rich. And thank you so much to all of you for coming today. I hope you've been inspired to do more science. I hope you're going to go into your science lessons with some new enthusiasm, and perhaps you're going to want to be scientists when you're older as well now. So thank you very much. Let's give everybody involved today a really huge round of applause. Thank you everyone. Safe travels home.